Flaunting key upgrades contrasted with Samsung's big screen foldable, including a gapless fold, a bigger battery, and more competent cameras. It appears to be the Honor Versus could be the big screen foldable to get, yet odd design choices mean it's anything but an obvious choice. I came to an involved occasion for the Honor Versus in front of send-off, where I got to invest a touch of energy with the foldable, and here are my initial considerations. Design and screens. Book-style foldable with no hole. 6.45 inches external display. 7.9 inches internal foldable display. The Honor Magic Versus is a run-of-the-mill book-style foldable, with a standard phone-like display outwardly and a bigger foldable display inside, with the possibility that you get both the conventional smartphone experience and a tablet experience inside a solitary gadget. The thought isn't new. However, Honor's Magic Versus foldable is perfectly designed, particularly when contrasted with Samsung's famous Galaxy Z Fold 4 that, in spite of being in its fourth era, actually has a genuinely enormous hole when folded shut. Honor dislikes the Magic Versus, with no apparent hole, assisting keep with cleaning, build-up, and other irritating pieces clear of the display, and, all the more critically, the pivot. It figures out how to do this while likewise being a lot more slender than Samsung's 15.8mm foldable at simply 12.9mm. That is predominantly down to Honor's new really light pivot, which has far less parts than contending foldable with single-piece projecting tech and 4 moving pieces. Down from 92 bits of the first Honor Versus, the organization says it ought to be really great for 400,000 folds, or 100 folds per day for an incredible 10 years. The 6.45-inch external display is substantially more like an ordinary smartphone than most other big screen foldables available, brandishing a 21:9 perspective proportion with a lead-level edge-to-edge display. It's surely a positive development contrasted with Samsung's very limited foldable, bringing it closer in shift focus over to Oppo's Trackdown N2. As a matter of fact, with display tech including a 120Hz refresh rate, support for HDR10+ and Dolby Vision content, and a most extreme splendor of 200 nits, it's ostensibly the better display of the two, a fascinating way to deal with the big screen foldable design. It unquestionably appears to be legit, as the external display is one that the vast majority will utilize on a more regular basis, with the greater inner display just truly utilized for explicit purposes. That doesn't mean the inward display is to be sniffed at, however. It's a 7.9 OLED board with a 1984x2272 goal, 90Hz refresh rate, and a greatest brilliance of 800 nits. It was brilliant and smooth being used, and however the wrinkle is as yet present, it's not however right away recognizable as it could be with the Z Fold 4. Somewhere else, the back of the Honor Versus is surely one of the more attractive out there, with a shocking glittery blue completion on the back. However, it'll likewise be accessible in dark for those searching for something somewhat more downplay. Cameras. Skilled camera presenting for a foldable. The camera division is a region where Honor is truly gunning for Samsung, with a mix of a 54MP fundamental, 50MP 122-degree ultra-wide, and an 8MP zooming focal point with 3x optical zoom, beating the double 12MP contribution of Samsung's contending big screen foldable. On paper, in any event, this ought to make the Honor Versus one of the more competent foldables available. With regards to photography ability, and pictures taken on the primary focal point looked fresh, nitty-gritty, and brilliant in a couple of test shots I shot during my involved. However, I'll hold last judgment for the present. Performance. Not the quickest processor around. 5mAh battery. Android 13 with Magicos 7.1. The Honor Magic Versus is driven by Qualcomm's skilled Snapdragon 8 or more Gen 1 chipset. However, it's not the extremely most recent Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip, so it is possible that the Magic Versus doesn't exactly top the benchmarking outlines. That is matched with one or the other 8 or 12 GB of Smash and up to 512 GB of stockpiling. However, it's not satisfactory, which SKUs are set to be delivered in the UK and Europe at the present time. In any case, even with a chip that was sent off in 2022, performance ought to be fast in regular use, and I saw no sort of slack during my brief time frame with the foldable. That is something worth being thankful for as well, taking into account that 7.9 inches inward display is in a real sense designed to run different applications on screen on the double. Battery life is likewise expected to be an area of strength for an of the Honor Versus, contrasted with other big screen foldables like the Galaxy Z Fold 4 with a 5mAh cell that the organization cases can last 1.04 hours longer than the Z Fold 4 and 3 hours extra, contrasted with the iPhone 14 Pro. I've no real way to test these cases at the present time, yet it'll surely be intriguing to perceive how it performs once an example advances toward us. Somewhere else, expect top-end availability with any semblance of Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2, NFC for installments, and, obviously, support for 5G network. As far as programming, The Honor Magic versus ships with Android 13 with Honor's Magic OS 7.1 skin. However, there's no word on Honor's update guarantee at this time. To have the option to rival the Z Fold 4, it'll have to offer 4 years of operating system redesigns, while perhaps not more.